back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
Sound like my cat throwing up. This is Asinine Radio. This is the
I
weekly.
know that sound.
What sound is it?
No, now I know what you're talking about because you always say that. But like the dog has done it too. They go,
Oh,
and they throw up, right?
throw up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Now I
so now you
understand.
understand it. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Idiot
It's disgusting.
animals. Idiot animals.
All right, this is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly podcast where every week we take whatever artist band we're doing and we rank all of their records from worst best to the best. We also give our biggest banger or possibly biggest stinker from each of them, and we try to have a good time doing that. So while you're listening, go to Apple Podcasts, go rate, review, and subscribe to us on there. Follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. We have a phone number you can call, send us a text, leave us a voicemail. The phone number is 503-893-5307. We also have a Discord server if you want to join that. Hit us up, we'll send you the link, and you can just kind of hang out with us and shoot the shit about Star Wars, Korn, Blink, the pod, whatever you want. Let's just jump right into this, Jeff. We're doing Modest Mouse. And so we're going to rank their 7 records, not the unreleased crap comps that they put out. We're just doing the 7 records.
Jeez, take it easy.
And we're going to do, like I said, worst best to the best. So let's just start with you, Jeff. What do you got for the worst Modest Mouse record? Go.
Do you not have your 6 degrees or no?
Oh, dude, I forgot. 6 Degrees. I forgot. We do the 6 Degrees with Tom DeLonge first. If you don't know what that is, it's just like the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but we do Tom DeLonge with the Artist of the Week. So with that being said, I know Jeff did not do it. He did not do his homework. He's being negligent once again. So
your word of the day is negligent. That's like the second time you've said that. I don't like that you're doing that. Put your thesaurus.
I've the Thorth.
Put your thesaurus away.
Every time you don't do it, I use that word. I've been using
sure?
negligent every time. Yeah, every single time. So, anyway, we're gonna start with Jackknife Lee. He engineered, played bass, drums, and did some other stuff on the newest Modest Mouse record, The Golden Casket. Jackknife Lee also produced a few songs off of the AFI record Crash Love. Davey Havoc is obviously in AFI, and Davey was on the first Transplants record with Travis Barker and Travis to Tom. Or you could even go the other way where that album, AFI's Crash Love, Jerry Finn also produced that, and then Jerry Finn to Tom. So we got 2 right there, baby.
Damn, Jerry Finn produced Crash Love?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
How far
Yep,
the
yep.
apple has fallen from the tree.
That was like right before he died. Because I think he died in 2011, right? 2010?
Dude, way to go out
So-
on a not high
On a
note.
high note.
Jesus.
You're an idiot. You're such an idiot.
Just saying. Calls him as I see him. That's all I can do. Sorry.
I think you like Crash Love. I think you did.
no,
As
I
like
liked,
a pop record?
I like
You've
one song off of Crash Love. I can't remember what song it was. Was it Crash Love?
I think you're thinking of Burials or Blood.
No, it was Crash Love. I really, really, really like. I said there's a song
you
on
like
Crash Love
Burials.
that was a top 5 AFI song.
Was it I Hope You Suffer? It might have been that one.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't even look it up because you delete all your notes. So
I don't have any notes deleted. I haven't said anything yet. Oh, from
no,
the
no, for
previous.
AFI.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
oh,
the
yeah,
AFI.
yeah, yeah.
So you can't even
yeah.
go and look.
Yeah, that's long gone. Long gone.
Well,
I could look up into see if I playlisted it on my Spotify.
You could do that, but that's a lot of work. So, yeah, anyway, so that's my 6 Degrees with Tom DeLonge. Once again, Jeff didn't do it because he's zero fun. So, let's get into the Modest Mouse rankings. What do you got for the worst Modest Mouse record, Jeff? Go.
I was looking at the Crash Love thing right now. I don't recognize any of these songs. That would have been like a really, really good one. I don't know.
It was probably I Hope You Suffer. Probably was that one.
Damn, I'm really interested in what song that I really, really liked. It was a really good song.
There's a lot of really good songs on that record.
I don't think there was. So my we're doing 7 albums by the Modest Mouses, by the Modest Mice.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't think any of these are like bad. I do really enjoy Modest Mouse. I do like Isaac's vocals. I do like a lot of the things they bring to the table. However, my bottom 2 are kind of similar in why I don't really care for it. And Strangers to Ourselves, that's their 6th album. There's 2015, their second to last.
Mm-hmm.
This was weird. I thought this was weird, like a weird, desperate attempt at being weird for the sake of just being weird. And Modest Mouse has always done the weird sound very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
They've always just been inherently quirky and inherently a little bit bizarre and a little different, a little off. But later in their career, it's just like they're trying to recapture that weirdness by doubling down on the weird. And I don't know. I think it's just forced. It sounds forced. It was hard to follow because half of these songs weren't bad and even just had like some solid stuff to it. But the other half of this album was just pretty fucking dumb. Just dumb. Like embarrassingly dumb.
All right. Do you have a banger off this one or no?
No, I don't have a banger for the first kind of like 2.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
my last 2, I guess.
Do you have any
just delete
stinkers
my
then?
notes. No, I don't have any stinkers. But I have a lot of songs here that like I would never ever listen to this album again. This album gets I honestly would give this album a sub 1 because I don't think you need to listen to this album to get the gist of this era of Modest Mouse, because obviously Golden Casket is ahead of this, which came out after this. I think Golden Casket is very similar to this. So I think I would give this a sub 1 because I don't think you need to listen to this to even get a gist of what Modest Mouse is like in the 2010s.
So my number 7 is also Strangers to Ourselves, 6th record. This one has all the annoying parts of the record prior, and but it has no energy. Like it's just very fucking boring. There's zero edge to any of the songs. It goes nowhere. It's forgettable. It's very annoying at times. There are some bad songs on here. I don't have a banger, like not even close. I do have a stinker, and it is the song Pistol. It's like Pistol A. Cunanan, Miami, Florida, 1996. Like, first of all, it's a fucking stupid title. I don't even know what it means. It might mean something like really important to him, so that's probably kind of mean. But yeah, that song is fucking terrible. It sounds like a fucked up, bad circus song. Like they have that. The band themselves like have kind of like a circusy kind of vibe to them, like circus pop. That's how I would describe it. Like them, Panic at the Disco have like a circus pop sound, and I fucking hate it.
I mean, I totally get the Panic thing. I think they do for sure have a circus sound. That's a deliberate attempt at that.
Yeah.
But I do like that first Panic album, but don't group Modest Mouse at their best with Circus Panic. I don't like that.
This album, yes.
Okay,
I will.
I'll give you that.
This
That's
album,
fine.
yes, for sure. I mean, some of the stuff not even close to Panic, like way better than Panic. But yeah, this album is trash. It's fucking trash. This is sub 1. This is a 0.5. I would give this a 0.5 out of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, and 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is just the worst thing ever. This would be a 0.5. It's not.
That's fine.
It's not good.
I don't think you need to listen to this album in any
You
kind
don't.
of listen
It's
through of Modest Mouse. Yeah.
And anybody who tells you that they like this album are lying to you, because it's not good.
I don't get a lot of call for this one when I see like in just various groups that are posting like, oh, I got a new Modest Mouse album. I don't see this album a lot. Actually,
Makes
ever.
sense.
I see
Yeah,
everything
makes
else.
sense.
But
Is
I've
it
never
even
seen
on?
this one.
Is it even selling on selling on
Discogs?
Discogs?
Yeah, I
Dude, I
think
can't
you sent me a picture of it, wanting to see if I wanted to buy it one time wherever
Oh, I
you were
did.
at. Yeah,
I can see why you did not want to buy this. This
Yeah.
is terrible.
no, it's
Truly terrible. Straight. I'm just gonna see real quick what the cheapest one on Discogs is going for. It's probably like $15. But okay, what do you got for your number 6?
The Golden Casket. This is their last album, their latest album, 2021. I don't hate this album either. I think it's just it's a lot of what we like about Modest Mouse, but it's just it's just a repeat of Strangers. Like the Strangers and this one are just very damn similar to me, but this one just didn't like double down on the weird for the sake of being weird thing like Strangers did. This one just kind of took a back seat and was like, okay, let's just let it ride. But that ride wasn't very great either. So
Yeah.
I also think that this one isn't like a must listen to. Maybe I give this like a 1 because I think that Modest Mouse is a reflection of what they used to be, and the Golden Casket is a perfect example of that. This is just wanting to recapture their youth, but not trying at it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I did have a song that I thought was kind of cool. The song "Back to the Middle." It was cool because it kind of brought back that little like dance kind of vibe that they had that you probably think is like circusy. Where the and the bass, doom, 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 doom. Everything kind of like dancey, but I didn't playlist it, so.
Yeah, it's not good.
But there was a snippet there, like that was like a snippet. That was a glimpse of what they used to be, and I hate like always doing that because we do it a lot. Of just this band's not what they used to be. They used to be so much better, and it fucking irritates me that we're those type of people.
But see, there are instances where
But
the
it's
newer
true.
stuff is better. You know, like the
Turnstile,
well, no, the first Turnstile record is way better than the third. Come on,
way better. Come on, guy, way better.
it's much better.
Way better.
It's much no. But what I was gonna say was like Census Fail. Like I didn't really care for Let It Enfold You that much, but the album Renacer, that album like blew me away.
Renacer.
However the fuck you pronounce it, and it's still super expensive on Discogs, which pisses me
Forgot
off.
you like that one.
Dude,
One of the
that record
worst.
is so good. No, it wasn't. You didn't even rank it that low, you idiot.
It's
Fucking
mid tier. It's
dumb
mid tier
shit.
Census Fail. It's not top 3.
You're so dumb. Oh God, I just looked it up too. The last 2 Modest Mouse albums, you can get them on Discogs for less than $20. So
Yeah.
there's a
Not
reason
worth
for
it.
that. Yeah, definitely not worth it. So that was your number 6. My number 6 is When We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. Their 5th record. This is just a straight pop record. Straight up through and through. There are moments that sounded like Coldplay and Panic at the Disco. Like I said, that circus pop, but then it was kind of like the ballady stuff that Coldplay does, and it's just so boring. I don't know. It's just a bad record. I can't at this point. I can't stand Isaac's vocals. I really fucking hate his vocals.
It's
They're
fair. It's fair.
It's
He
terrible.
ran its course. Honestly, he ran its course.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried real hard with Modest Mouse because I wanted to give him an honest chance because I've always kind of talked shit on him, but I know a lot of people love them. I think it's terrible, but I also understand why they were as popular as they were because they definitely fit that. They fit into the pop realm very well, very very well for the time. But I can't stand it. I have no banger off this one. I do have a stinker. It is by far their worst song, without a doubt. Their worst song. It's what is it? Fire It Up. That I even texted you about it. I got halfway through it and I texted you. I said, I think I just said like the name of the song. I just put woof. Like it was just, it's unbelievably bad. It sounds like a bad Imagine Dragons song, and Imagine Dragons are already really bad, but this sounds like a bad version of that, of one of their songs. It's so terrible. I can't even. Go listen to it. Go listen to that song because it's so bad. But I fucking hate this record. It's terrible. This would be a 0.5 as well.
I mean, okay, all right. So I'm
not. The only reason I'm not giving these 2 albums a 0 is because the instrumentation is good. Like they're good. They're obviously good musicians, but the songs suck. So that's the only reason why I can't give it a 0. But yeah, that's my number 6. So what do you got for number 5?
My number 5 is We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank, and that's for a lot of the same reasons. It's very, very poppy. This is like this album is crazy popular too. It's like very popular with even like Modest Mouse fans, even Modest Mouse fans that are similar to me that like, you know, Moon in Antarctica. That is gonna be a tough one to say this
I know
episode.
it's gonna suck.
And this one is like crazy popular. But like there's moments of this record that I like, And I think, okay, now they're kind of sort of bringing it back to that laid back, slow jam approach to writing. But then again, it's just like this is the beginning of them trying super fucking hard to be extra quirky, and it's distracting. And there's nothing here to sink your teeth into like their first 3.5 albums. And I think this is when I stopped even like caring about Modest Mouse. Was this album was like the big hits from this album, and it's, I mean, like some of the biggest songs from this album besides like Float On.
Float
like
On,
there's you know what I mean, like these are massive songs that I don't know, that people like. Dashboard is fucking huge. That's probably their second biggest song besides Float On, and
I don't know if
it's
I
okay.
recognize it.
If you heard it, you would recognize it.
There were a few songs that I recognized. I totally forgot existed until I heard them. So that might have been one of them.
And you probably like heard Dashboard and like, what the fuck? This is Modest Mouse? I just assumed this was insert other boring indie band of 2000 era here. Because that's what they turned into. And I don't have a lot of positives to say, so I don't really care about it, but I don't know. God, dude, their first 4 albums are pretty good. They're pretty good here. So,
I mean, we'll see.
So here we go.
We'll see. So my number 5 is Good News for the people who love bad news.
That's crazy. That is crazy that the
Dude,
Golden Casket is above that one.
Yeah, well, it had to be said. I think they have terrible titles for their songs, or for their albums and songs too. But the fourth record, this one is, this is them at their pop peak. So they kind of pretty much ditched all of their edginess. It's pretty much all gone. There's a few things here and there that are a little edgy, but it's more pop and folk driven. And what was cool about this album, though, was that they started to use a wider range of instruments, which was very noticeable. But it didn't, to me, it didn't really make up for his annoying vocals, man. This is when he went full on pop vocals, and I hate it. I think it's so obnoxious. I don't get it. But obviously this is the one with Float On, but I never liked that song. I hated that song when it came out.
Of course you hate that song.
I hated that song when it came out.
Of course you hate the song.
You're being a little fussy boy right now.
I knew you would hate that song forever because it's been fucking insanely popular.
I like a lot of popular songs at the time, like the Hives, the big stuff from the Hives. I loved. I even liked a couple Strokes songs, and I talk a lot of shit on the Strokes, a lot of shit on that band because they're not that good.
But the Strokes songs you like aren't anywhere near like their biggest bangers. Anywhere near it. Like there's probably
Last Night,
some fucking.
Last Night is
so good.
Last Night's their biggest song. I think that song's amazing. That and Juicebox. Last Night and Juicebox, two best songs, right there. The Vines, I love the Vines. That first record, amazing.
Nobody likes the Vines.
The two singles from that Vines record are better than anything Modest Mouse have done.
Ride with me.
So good.
Wait, did you say those two singles are better than anything Modest Mouse has ever done?
That's correct.
That's wow. This is gonna be a long one.
Get Free and Out of the Way, man. Those songs are killer.
I think you missed the boat in this one too. Really did.
But anyway, yeah, that's my number 5. I guess if I had to have a banger, it would be Bury Me With It. It's because it's one of the songs that kind of is reminiscent of what they were doing prior, which I thought was pretty damn cool. But there's still a lot of pop there, and I don't know. I would never go back to this record. I would never listen to it.
Killer song. Bury Me With It.
I would give this album a 1 out of 3.
That's fucking.
I would give this a 1 out of 3.
You must be drunk. That's fine.
So what do you got for number 4?
We drink in the pod. That's fine. You had a little too much buddies. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Now we are in the 2 realm for me. We are in the 2 realm, no matter what. This is a long drive for someone with nothing to think about. This is their first album, 96. And this is, I like the concept of this one. It's a lonely sounding record that deals with loneliness in life and everyday life, whatever. It's softer sounding, and it doesn't have a lot of vocals. It's a lot of drawn out instrumentals. And while they're not extremely complex, they do build well. and they layer from song to song to make a pretty good album. And it's cool how they use the jam parts to isolate a lot of the higher guitar parts to sound lonely and give us like a good time. This is a concept album by a band who has only done like nothing except for like a couple EPs prior to this. It's like, hey, we have all these really great ideas. Let's see what happens when we just put, $2,000 into the studio and 30, 40 hours and see what happens. And I think there's a lot of potential here. I just think it just wasn't realized properly, and it will be realized better later on. But I think it's a fantastic starter album for a band. And Tundra/Desert. This is my favorite song from this. This one's a little more spastic, a little more exciting. It kind of built on the album's theme of loneliness, and it offered some musical relief by being faster and more aggressive, but it still really kept in theme. And that's what Modest Mouse does so goddamn well, is it gives you a theme right from the get-go. Like the opening track of a lot of their albums say, here is what our thesis statement is. We're going to keep in theme with this, but we're going to give you a ride. And if nothing else, even the moon in even even in the moon in Antarctica, if nothing else, at least you're able to be taken for a ride. It could be a ride that you're just like, wow, that was dumb, but fuck, man, that was pretty interesting. I'll give you that. At least, if nothing else, that is what Modest Mouse does for you, at least in their first 3 albums. So this is a long drive for someone who has nothing to think about. That's my 4th best. And I would buy that on vinyl for sure.
That's way too low, man. It's way too low.
For sure.
Okay.
It's probably like your number 1 because it's so raw.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So my number 4 is The Golden Casket. Their newest record came out last year. I don't think this is a particularly good record. I think it's only better than the last 3 because it's more electronic based. It's not as circus pop sounding. It's a little more subdued. It's not as obnoxious, but it's still not that great. Like there's nothing that stands out that much except for the song "The Sun Hasn't Left," because damn, that vibraphone or xylophone, whatever they're playing, sounds. I'm a sucker for that instrument. So that's really the only song to me that stands out significantly on it. But it's just only better because it's a little bit different sounding. That's about it. Okay. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything great about it. I would rate this one a 1 as well, a 1 out of 3.
God damn,
listen to it, but I mean, I would never go back to this one. Never ever go back to this. So, The Golden Casket, number 4. What do you got for your number 3?
At least your top 3 is solid. Like I'm not gonna complain too much about your top 3. That's
you'll complain. Don't worry.
That's fine. I'm sure this is a long drive is probably your number 1 because it's like their most raw sounding and it's just the most like fucking grunge sounding thing they've done and it's so DIY and whatever. I don't know. Who cares? I don't fucking give a shit.
And
number
you dropped
3.
I can't believe you just said that.
I don't even fucking care anymore. Number 3. I'm so irritated already. We haven't got into the moon and oh my God. It's really hard to say. I never even realized how difficult it is to say. The moon and Antarctica.
It's the Antarctica. That's the
double
hard
A.
one.
It's a double and Antarctica.
No.
Still fucked it up. Good news for people who love bad news. That is my number 3. It's their 4th album, 2004. This is what got me into Modest Mouse. This was the first thing that I heard from Modest Mouse, and this one had Modest Mouse blowing up. These songs, I think, are constructed to be quirky, but not very complex. They're easily digestible, as opposed to their first 3 albums, which is, I think, the biggest difference between this one and It's a Long Drive. Is It's a Long Drive was constructed to be quirky and unique, but just didn't quite have the melody there. Whereas Good News is like the opposite. They're not very complex songs, but there's strong melodies. So those 2 are very interchangeable for me. I just put Good News up because of nostalgia. Really.
Okay. That's fair.
Because it got me into it. And I also don't think Float On's like a great song. I don't think it's bad, but I would never like change it or anything. I think it's fine and I like to sing along to it. But I really liked the album because this is what got me into Modest Mouse, and I think it's just an album of just good indie pop songs, rather than like a cohesive story like Antarctica or Crowded West. It's just like, hey, this is write a good indie pop record. That's what they did. Nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah,
The View,
okay.
dude, The View is my favorite Modest Mouse song, and that is from here. Love the bass line. Love this song.
View? I don't remember
Just
that song.
the doom 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 doom. Oh, my heart beat and two.
There you go.
They go,
Circus pop. Circus
dude,
pop,
it's
theater kid music. Yeah.
insane and just crazy good layering, just very ecstatic, very everybody's coming in from left field doing their own fucking thing, and it just drops into a very calm chorus, and it's just like, oh no, and that's how he sings. He's like, these get better, don't get better, and then it drops right back into the crazy part. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, it's so fucking good. Just I think it's layered just perfectly, and I think it flows very nicely, and the clean guitar tone, superb, because it sort of pops. It's a clean guitar tone, but they allow for the highs to pop when you're really hitting those strings hard. I dig.
Oh man.
And the good times are killing me. The last song on the album, the good times are killing me.
I don't
Good
remember.
times are killing me.
Nah, I don't remember. But from what you just sang, it doesn't sound like it would be. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's for me. Like I said, very circus pop, very theater kid
You
music.
keep using this circus pop thing. Have you been to the circus?
I have been to a circus, yeah.
Yeah, they used to have the circus over at the Block before the Block was the Block, when it was just like dirt. They used to do the Barnum Bailey's.
Oh,
and Bingham,
yeah, they did, huh?
whatever the fuck that thing was. What is it called?
Yeah.
Barnum and
Barnum
Bailey's?
and Bailey's. Barnum and Bailey's. yeah.
Barnum? Is it Barnum or
Barnum.
Burnham?
Barnum.
Barnum? Yeah,
Barnum and Bailey's.
Yeah, before like SeaWorld got fined and stuff. So there were Barnum and Bailey's, and they used to have a circus there. The circus is dumb. The
I
circus
agree.
is
So is the music.
no, that in the circus, yes, but Modest Mouse, no. I don't like that you're equating like circus music to Modest Mouse's. I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying. Circus pop. That's what it is.
It's not.
Or theater kid music. That's another thing too.
What does that even mean? What does theater kid music mean?
Because it sounds like some of the way he sings and the way like Brendan Urie sings sometimes, and especially Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, they sound like they're trying to like sing like a musical in high school. That's what they sound like, and it's ugh.
See, I understand like where you're coming from, because
Like that's
if
the
you
only way
watch-
that I can describe it.
If
Like,
you
it's-
watch
it's-
a movie
yeah.
like The Birdcage and you watch Nathan Lane versus like any other actor that didn't come from Broadway, the facial expressions they use are so over the top that they just don't fit movies, because that's not
Yeah,
the way
that's a different
we
kind of
act in
acting.
real life. However, on stage, you need these over the top expressions to convey emotions instantaneously rather than build up. So I
know, I understand.
I get what you're saying, but
But it's the
don't like it.
only way I can try to describe this kind of music. Like I can't think of another way to describe it.
like watching Broadway actors in movie formats fucking irritate me.
It's terrible.
It really
yeah.
irritates me.
I know. I hate it. I fucking hate it. But I understand it's a very different style of very different type of acting between the two things, because you have to display your emotions very differently because you don't have a camera in your face. So that was your number 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 is the Moon and Antarctica. That is my number 3. So I'm not going to get into that right now. So what do you got for
That
number 2?
is-
What?
You're so basic. You're so basic.
That's
You know,
fine. I
you're
don't care.
basic.
I don't give a
Number
shit.
2 is the Lonesome Crowd of West, for y'all you basic people like Tyler out there.
Okay.
Lonesome Crowd of West.
Even though this is your number 2, but that's fine. Okay.
This
Keep
is
talking shit.
this is wild. This is, I don't know. It's got this sense of just chaos mixed with calm instrumentation. There's super rhythmic bass lines under frantic guitars, and Isaac who just screams sometimes, and then will sometimes just not say anything. And it's so bizarre, and it's so out there, and it's just so, it tries so hard, and it has such high standards, and it just set the bar so high for itself, and it achieved everything it set out to do. I think it's incredibly amazing. I think it's rad. I think it tells a story. I think it gives you a feeling from front to back. I think if you listen to this once and just listen to like the instruments, you'll get the same feeling as if you just isolated the vocals and listened to those as well. And I think that comes from just a really well put together band, and a band that has a clear direction and has a great understanding of their limitations and how they want to achieve that direction. And the Lonesome Crowded West did it second best. But my favorite track is Lounge, Closing Time. This is a cool layered song. Guitars are quick and ska-like. The bass is thrown down enormous slides, and it leads to this vocal like layered bridge thing, and it goes back into this frantic jam song. And like this song has everything that is Modest Mouse at this time. Because everything else after Moon in Antarctica is, it's fine. It's whatever. But Lonesome Crowded West, I don't know.
That's your number two.
It's a banger. My number two.
All right, I'll accept that. I will accept that. My number two is This Is a Long Drive for Someone with Nothing to Think About. Their first record. This is my number two, only because it's a little bit unfocused, and they really refined it on the second record. And I really don't have anything that bad to say about this record. I think it's a really good listen. I only listened to it once, but I feel like with subsequent listens, I'm going to enjoy it a lot more. There's a lot to kind of unpack. But I like how just kind of DIY it does sound. It sounds very much like a bunch of young guys like just throwing out ideas and just kind of not even caring what other people are going to think about it. They're just kind of doing whatever they want. And obviously it seems like they're having a blast doing it. There's a lot of energy on this record, but it's just not refined enough to be my number one. That's really it. I think it's a solid record, and I'd get this on vinyl. If it was cheap, I would get this on vinyl, like under $20. I would get it.
Okay, that's a decent thing, because usually I'll get this on vinyl, but it's like a nickel. that's like usually your go-to. But
if it was like
$20
$15,
is fine.
If it was like $15, $20 at the most, but even then I'd really be a little apprehensive about it. But that's my number two. This is a long drive for someone with nothing to think about. Okay. It's good. It's really good. Like I said, I want to spend more time with it. I really want to spend more time with it to really kind of, I don't know, understand it better. It's good.
Apparently you didn't understand anything this week, so.
Then what do you got for number one is obviously the Moon and Antarctica. Right?
I'm having hard to force out the Antarctica part.
Do you hear? Like I have to slow down. I have to really slow down.
Antarctica.
Yeah, I have to slow down, think about it, and that's annoying. So I just looked it up, and the cheapest copy of their first record is going for $85 after shipping.
There you go.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm not doing that.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Nope. So my number one is obviously the Lonesome Crowded West. And the thing that got me into this record, and the reason actually why we're doing this the album on the pod, is because of a song on this record that came up on a Spotify playlist, and that song is called Shit Luck. It's a mostly instrumental track, and when I got like 30 seconds into it, I'm like, who the fuck is this? This is actually really good. And I looked, and it was Modest Mouse, and couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. So then I went and listened to the record, and I think this is just refined enough to still have that edginess and just a little bit of pop there, just a very, very little amount of it. And I just kind of love how all over the place this record is. I think it's an amazing record. And because with VMP, the Vinyl Me Please, this is going to be next month's, or no, the March. This is going to be March's record, and I was going to just swap it out, but then for whatever reason, the song came up, and now I really like this record, so now I'm not going to swap it out. I'm going to actually get this from VMP, my first Modest Mouse record.
Tyler's record collection is going to have indie rock in it. That's crazy.
I have indie rock in my...
That is crazy.
I have indie rock in my collection.
Indie rock is like the bane of your existence.
I like it. Oh, dude, get out of here, man.
That is crazy.
I have indie rock in here, you dumb shit.
I mean, I guess if you consider like Incubus, indie rock, maybe you'd have indie rock in there, but okay.
Rites of Spring. That's
Oh,
kind of indie
God.
rock.
Here we go. We're gonna dig deep here and get some band that most people have not heard of, just so we can sound cool. Okay.
Oh
All
my
right.
God!
Here we go.
You're so dramatic. So
Yeah.
dramatic.
I'm happy and I'm surprised that you're gonna have some indie rock in your collection. That's good.
You know
it shows
what?
you're growing. It shows
You know
you're
what
growing.
I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna get that record. And I'm just gonna sell it. You're
You
making
can do
me
whatever
mad.
you want. I'm
You're
gonna
making me
too,
mad.
so do whatever you want.
You're making me mad.
You probably will sell it eventually.
Probably not. Okay, so that's all I got for the rankings. You got anything else?
No, that's it. That's all.
Okay. Well, thank you all for listening. Go rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever. And we're going to get into the Modest Mouse record, The Moon and Antarctica. And so stay tuned for that. Enjoy. Bye.